Alright, so this is going to be a quick rundown of the 100-mile honcho. I just wanted to start out in the dark there to show you these are the stock lights. The front one is just a reallocated light that was on the bumper, and all I did was just put yellow lenses on it. So yeah, I think they might actually be smaller buckets just for a more realistic look to go with that Proline light bar that's on there. It's been on there the whole time in this bumper and a few other wordy made things that you can see on the outside. Let's see here. You see the tabs there that you can actually slide you don't need the pins there anymore, which is great. Love it. These aren't the sliders for this. These are for something else, so they don't fit correctly. This one I actually trimmed in, or excuse me, put in one extra hole compared to the driver's side. Let's see what else on the outside can we see. Spare tire. Obviously that does not come on the newer honcho bed. I just kind of fudged it. Some links and some hardware. A piece of aluminum down there holding it somewhere. You can see it's not really changed much from stock. Again, the bumper sliders, the little tabs in the back, wheels and tires. Proline KO2s, Crawler Innovations. They're actually beat up Rock Beast foams that I trimmed out to fit in these tires quite well. There's a small air gap, not a big one. So, you know, there's some give and take with that, especially when it's cold or they get wet. But no problems today other than, you know, obviously scale tires get plugged up really quick. Wheels, just some, I don't know if they're even SSD. They might even be just knockoffs. Random stuff we find. Let's see here. I didn't want to set this on the table. I still got to spray it out. So instead of spraying it out, I'll just take off the tabs really quick. I'll do a separate video on post-trail cleanup. And I almost lost the clip. Kind of nice to have a semi-clean shop floor. So there we go. All stays on there. You just pull up the body. You can either pull it up or just straight up pull it off if you want to. Well, that works. Okay, so we're going to start with electronics. Radio is a MXV from Airtronics, Sonwa Airtronics, and they have waterproof receivers. They're a little spendy now. They're like 60, 70 bucks a piece, but when I can get a $10 radio, which I happen to find at a swap meet, and you know, these receivers that are waterproof and work great. I've never had a glitch problem with them. You can see I kind of cut out the box there to get it to fit in under the radio box. I don't know if you can see that or not. So we have that, and then we have the ESC is stock with a Castle 10 amp BEC. See that right there? Castle 10 amp BEC right there. Set at 6 volts. I think I run everything at 6 volts, 6.1, something like that. You can see it's still plugged in. Let's see here. Oh, no worries about this tape. You can see the tape right here on the plug. That's just to keep the cover on. Those Stark plugs, they always come loose. I love the concept of slipping that on there, but these ones just, they never stayed. So we'll go ahead and do that. That's great. Clean plugs. I usually put a little bit of silicone shock oil on the end of those plugs just to keep it from getting gummed up and to keep a good contact. Yeah, that right there. I'm not sure how many miles that thing has on it. It's a few. It's a 13-turn Crawlmaster Expert. It's a 5-slot, and it runs great on 3S with this truck. I just love it. Lots of wheel speed for being a, you know, brushed 550. If you guys remember the old school setup, the Mamba Max Pro with like a Tekin Redline, about a 13.5 turn, it gets about that much, but about a midway compromise in that setup. It was a fun little, you know, I mean, you could gear that thing up, but you gear it down, it was actually pretty beefy. We even did the 10.5 on, you know, pre-runner style trucks. Keep them running pretty quick on 3S. So, and then we are running, what is this? These, I have 5 of these. 4200 Hobby Wings, no, sorry, Hobby Star out of Sacramento, California. 4200 milliamp 3S 40C. Now these, they're not too bad. They don't have a huge amount of punch, but I mean, on these brushed motors, they've been running great, and they're only like $33 a piece, $34 a piece. They weren't too bad. We can get them on sale sometimes for $29.99. What else we have? Okay, you see how the bumper's mounted in here, nice and wide. Of course it gets in the way, but I want to keep the stock body and I want to keep it protected. So that's actually kept it very well protected compared to the stock bumper. The stock bumper tweaks up and down and it gets in the way of everything. So that's where I went. One of the first things I did to this truck was put steel on it, just because I knew it was going to get banged about. What else do we have? There is an EcoPower WP110T waterproof servo. Again, for what it is, I mean, I don't run this truck all the time, but for what it is, I love it. Now, I did unplug it. Kind of debating here. Let me put this down. This might be a little bit longer video than I expected, but let me plug it back in. The radio's still on. I'm not going to strap down the battery. My luck, it flies off the table. You know how that goes. But what I'm going to do is plug it in. Now, this thing is stock completely. It still has the stock dog bones, and it still has the stock gears. Now, I did have to change some steering links to metal because I had some problems. But, I mean, that's just wear and tear. I mean, that wasn't the fault of the design. I mean, after 150 miles or so, everything wears out. So if you notice, I don't have a lot of swing in the steering. I made it that way. I don't want to break stuff. And it kind of keeps a scale appearance, especially in videos when you can turn nice and slow, lock to lock, and it looks semi-realistic. So, kind of limiting that was nice. Plus, again, it keeps from putting too much torque on vital parts. I think there is a Vanquish Products 20mm servo horn in there. Oh, that's dirty. Yeah, tumbleweed. Yeah, there's a Vanquish Products. It actually might be the 24. It looks longer. You see the bottom of the motor there. That is always something I've never liked about the SCX-10 with the motor facing forward like that. Is you get snow and dirt and mud scooped up in there really fast. Other than that, it's been slick. I've not changed anything. I believe I've had to change a few bearings here and there. Nothing huge. The transmission has steel gears in it. I'm not sure what kind, but we did put steel gears in there. But that was before the $9 Axial, you know, the sintered metal ones. So what else did we do? Oh, these are the ones I run. These little EcoPower lipos. They're 2200 milliamp. And they are... What's the punch reading on it? I don't see it on there right now. 30C, I think is what that says. Oh, it's a 3-cell. Oh, 45C, I'm sorry. Sometimes I've ran those on the brushless, but mostly I run those on brushed. Oh, hey, forgot about this. See, it's kind of clean down there. Well, we have some little fender wells. Just simple binder material, old school, easy. Fit them in there, trimmed them up. You know, it's not really dirty up in here. It's not really dirty up in here. It's pretty clean. I did go through a few small mud puddles. What would be scale up to about halfway up the tire with water, you know, a little bit of mud here and there. So it wasn't terrible. It actually stayed really clean. I got some really good shots of some wheel speed. Like, again, it's more of a, this would be a peppy, better than stock trail rig build in 1.1 class. You know, just something, maybe a hobby build that's built good, works well, you know, but it has limitations, you know. Though it is lightweight, it doesn't have a huge amount of power, but it's got enough to get it around some pretty cool things. Plus, it's small. So I could squeeze some lines in this that I could not get that through very easily because it's a full body. I mean, I would imagine I can tuck up some things just like this. To tell you the truth, if I just put the bed of the Honcho style bed that they make on that body, it'll tighten it up more. But for right now, I'm just running these trucks as stock as I can do it. This was a accumulation of parts over a couple of years, I think, probably about 2 years. So that's it. You know, again, it's not like it just sits on the shelf. It looks clean, but it doesn't stay clean. I've got to really spray it off here in a minute, get it cleaned up. Then I've got to, well, this was my break. I took a break from work today because it was too wet. It had not frozen. I need to go out and get some material, but I need it to be frozen first so I can get across some really ugly, muddy spots. So I'm going to go out there and check it tonight when we go to class, and if it's good, actually, I might just grab some material while I'm out there. So yeah, that's it. That's the setup. Real simple, real easy. There's really no muss, no fuss. I do have to get in there. I might have to change some bearings soon, though. Sorry about that. I've got to clean up in here. So yeah, that's it. All I'm going to do is just take off the body here, put the batteries away. I'm actually going to check that battery really quick. So let's do that. Like I said, it was about 3 miles. Oh, I don't know if I even introduced that part. My little trail walk run thing today